All right, it's the largest known collection of stolen internet credentials. A ring of Russian criminals has acquired 1.2 billion username and password combinations, as well as credentials for more than 500 million email addresses. That's a lot. This, interestingly, comes just as hackers gather in Las Vegas for the Black Hat cybersecurity conference. It's one of the largest global information security event series in the world. To discuss the latest in hacking, I spoke earlier with Boom Bust host Erin Ade. She's currently at the conference. And I first asked her if with all this hacking, we should be rushing to change our passwords.
It's a big topic of conversation this morning here at Black Hat. A lot of people say that the numbers of people whose passwords were actually compromised, they're getting different numbers, whether it's 3 billion or 1.2, 1.3, that's still in question. But Hold Securities, that was the firm that noticed this breach, and they're the ones saying to people out there, you know, if you're concerned that your company's been breached, come to us and we'll tell you if you're on the list, opposed to that company coming out and saying, here are the Fortune 500 companies that have been hit by this, and everyone who has done business with them or as any association might want to change passwords. So they're kind of working backwards, which is an interesting thing as well. But people are saying that there's two reasons this could have happened. Either it's an amazing, amazing hack, and people were, if this was the Russian gang that mainstream media is alleging, or if it was just some people based out of Russia, whoever was doing it, they're saying it was either really impressive because they were able to hack all these at once, or they were kind of data mining, pulling all this information from different sources and then smashing it together, which apparently, and when you're a cryptologist or a security expert, isn't as hard as the former. So that's really interesting. But yes, you should change your password, they're saying. That, you know, it's best to do it weekly, apparently, and you want a long password. And most importantly, and one of the ways that you keep being compromised over and over and over again, is if you don't change your password from one platform to another. Like if your bank has the same password as your work email, don't do that. Make sure you have a different and long one for each entity that you do business with.
That makes a lot of sense. Erin, it's so ironic that you happen to be at a security conference looking at ways to protect against these kind of hacks that we're just talking about. Is this anti-hacking world a growing industry?
Anti-hacking, I would say yes, it's just as growing as hacking from what I'm hearing today. You know, it attracts the same kind of person. It's like a Batman is the best analogy that I can think of. You're going to have people who use this information for good and people who use this information for evil. It's basically up to them to how they do it. But what's interesting about this conference, Black Hat, opposed to a conference like DEF CON, it attracts a more formal, I guess, corporate client, if you will, or corporate person who's interested in this. So you get the big players like Microsoft, and it's a bigger ticket, so the price tag's a little higher. And not saying that DEF CON is the bad guys and these are the good guys, not that at all, but DEF CON does attract a slightly more counterculture, what you're seeing. So is it a growing industry? Yes, but I would say with the internet growing and our lives only becoming more virtual, it's of course only going to grow from here.
All right, well, you're around the latest trends in cybersecurity. What's out there? What should we know about right now?
You know, the biggest trend right now, a lot of people are talking about this, it's data security kind of, you know, meets threat intelligence, being more intelligent about securing your data, not just saying, oh, one size fits all for every corporation. You know, the needs of a medium-sized business are different from the needs of a massive, massive Fortune 500 company or some sort of blue chip stock. You're going to want different tailored security, and you know, threat intelligence is a catchphrase that we keep hearing over and over again. And if you have the appropriate threat intelligence, you're going to be better protected. So opposed to just using a blanket system, look at where your system could potentially be compromised and then address that. Work from the evidence like a doctor would, evidence-based medicine, use evidence-based security.
And interestingly, Erin, you had to take some of your own precautions before even attending this conference. Talk about what you had to do to prepare to go to this Las Vegas conference there.
Yeah, actually it was pretty funny. The safety tips to attend Black Hat were amazing. I'm actually going to pull out my phone right now. Check this out. Haven't seen one of these in a while, non-smartphone that we got here.
Wow,
look, it's
ancient.
who does that? Yeah, I had to go out and get a burner for for basically everything that's going on. I haven't turned my phone on since last night, and it's a little scary. You know, they say to be really cautious. Don't use any ATMs in the area. Carry a low balance credit card. Only use cash. Bring no credit cards with you because those can be hacked. Don't bring a smartphone unless you're a security expert. Pretty bonkers stuff. So I'm not a security expert, and I never will be. So I'm taking the appropriate precautions.
That was the host of Boom Bust, Erin Ade.